Do you think in our society, women and men are equal as of like right now?
No.
No? In what aspect?
Every aspect.
Where are you from, if you're not from here?
Australia.
Australia? Okay.
So do you think that women are as equal as men in our society?
That's a very good question. I think it depends on where you are and in what part of society that you talk about.
Just in general. Like in the job and careers and all that.
I think on the whole that things are more equal in lots of places, but not in every workplace and not in every not in every city and not in every country.
Okay.
Do you feel that women are as equal as men? How so?
Well, women still make far less in the workforce than men do in Western society as well as basically everywhere else. There are still a lot of deeply rooted, I guess, sexist issues that sort of are accepted as just the general norms.
Do you feel that women are as equal as men in our society?
No.
How come?
Well, the company I work for, the difference in pay alone for people that do the exact same job is incredible. So, I mean, I don't think they're viewed as equal yet.
How do you feel about being a woman in Canada?
Well, we have a lot of freedom, I think, and there still is a lot of sexism out there, but I don't know, I feel pretty free being a female, especially in this country, compared to the rest of the world.
Do you feel equal to men?
Yes and no. I mean, times have come a long way in the last years, like women aren't doing all the cooking anymore, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So the housework.
Yeah, they're out doing, working jobs while the men are at home, raising kids.
So women are breaking out of the stereotypical kind of housewife, mother kind of thing, right?
Exactly.
Well, all right. How do you feel about being a woman in Canada?
It's pretty sweet.
It's alright. No, it's
All
good.
right. Do you feel equal to men
Yes, of course.
in all aspects?
I would say so. Yeah.
You would say so?
Except for they have huge guns.
All right. Good one. Who do you think has the advantage in society?
You could say both men or women. It's pros and cons to both. Women could have a sex appeal. Men could have the man of the house, the man is in charge, the man brings in the money, that sort of thing.
Have you ever faced any sort of discrimination as a woman?
No, not really. Except for when you walk around and you get whistled at all the time. That's true.
Who think has the advantage in our society, men or women?
Well, unfortunately, men.
Men? In what aspect?
Well, I think that I think there's just stereotypes all the time that certain jobs guys can do better. I'm sure there's some areas which people think that women could do better as well, but I think more often or not you get guys more opportunities.
Do you think men are actually better than women in those aspects?
No, I think it's all I think given a chance, either one could be stronger or weaker in any areas, really.
So do you agree with gender equality, that men and women should have the same rights, obligations, and benefits?
Oh, definitely. I don't know about obligations. Maybe in certain areas, relationships, it might be different and stuff like that. But I think in general, yeah.
And how do you feel, do you think that we've come a long way from, back then when women were supposed to stay at home and all of that?
In some ways, yes, some ways, no.
How so?
I think if anything, there's been overcompensation as of late, but the general rules haven't changed. Because women have the babies, I don't know if it really can change. Until we can get pregnant, the whole Christian, structure is going to stay the way it is, right? So
we can get pregnant, we can get rid of women altogether.
Exactly. They're going to be screwed for a while. Yeah.
Okay, we have Mrs. Ozapov here, and she's going to answer some questions about women's equality and how she deals with it. In any point of your career, do you think you have ever been discriminated against or been a victim of prejudice?
I don't know if I would call it discriminated against or a victim of prejudice. It's more stereotyping. Because when I first became a principal, especially of a secondary school, because I'm not very big, and because I'm a woman, and because at that time I was quite a bit younger than most principals, there was sort of a, I guess people would walk right by me and go to a male teacher, for example, that might be close by, thinking that he was the principal. So there sort of was wasn't the automatic respect, not that anybody should get automatic respect, but there wasn't the acknowledgement that I was the principal, just because of the way I looked, I guess, and because I was a female. And I don't think that, had I been a male, even if I was a smaller, younger male, I don't think I would have had that same reaction from people. Even now, I get it.
So you think that being a woman is sort of a disadvantage?
I don't know if it's a disadvantage, it's just that it's not naturally people don't naturally expect to see, although now I think it's getting better, but they don't naturally expect to see a woman in the role of principal, especially at a secondary school. Elementary's not an issue at all, I think. There's a lot of elementary principals, but not so much at secondary.
Okay.
They think that, if there's a fight, what are you going to do? And they don't realize that you don't have to run and chase kids to stop a fight. You can do it with your words and that kind of stuff. So, I don't know. I think it's a natural reaction for a lot of people.
Okay, so have you faced discrimination personally? Like, aside from the career and workplace?
Once again, I don't think it's discrimination, but it's just more like stereotyping. For example, if you go to buy a car, if I go to buy a car and I'm by myself, I don't know that I get the same kind of, I don't know if they would say the same things, and if they would treat me the same, or maybe they wouldn't take me as seriously as if I was with my husband. And if I am with my husband, automatically the questions go directly to him, even though it might be my car that I'm buying, that kind of thing.
Okay. Being a principal is traditionally a male's job.
Right.
Right. So, do you think it has affected you in any way in your career?
Not really, and I do feel as an equal with the group of principals that I work with. Most of them are men. There's 3 of us that are women, 3 of the 11. And I think, especially in the District of Richmond, I don't feel that we're treated any differently. I think we're all treated the same, and I do feel that we all respect one another regardless of whether we're male or female.
Do you think men and women generally in society are being treated equal as of today?
I can only, again, speak from my experiences, and I think from my experience, then I think they are. Yeah, I think they are. I think there's some stereotypes that are hard for people to move away from, but I think in general we've come a long ways, and I think that women, girls that I see graduating from here aren't sort of going into the very narrow, typical careers that you would expect girls only and boys only. I think now I see girls doing a lot of things that in the past only boys would be sort of expected to do. So from what I see, students and girls and boys differences from kids that are graduating, and also my own experience as a woman, I think that we are more equal than we have been in the past.
So we're kind of moving away from the stereotypical kind of careers for women, and more they're kind of crossing.
I think so. I think there's a lot of men. I mean, on our staff, for example, we've had staff where the wife has had the baby, and instead of the wife staying home, then the father stays at home and takes a paternity leave instead of a maternity leave. Well, you wouldn't have heard of that even 5 years ago, So I think things are changing for the better.
Okay.
Yeah.